Kyodo News English World。
はい、皆さんこんにちは。こちらは共同通信海外部のポッドキャストです。海外部では国内外で起きている出来事について取材してオリジナルの英文記事を発信したり、日本語のニュースを英語に翻訳したりしています。海外部の英語の記事をテーマにいろんな国から集まる仲間たちと英語と日本語を交えて楽しくおしゃべりしていけたらと思っています。今日は海外部の記者3人でお届けします。私は山口と申します。昨年まで、日本語の記者をしていて、海外部に移動してきました。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
Hi, my name is Peter. I'm a writer at Kyodo News. I like to cycle in Tokyo. I would say that's my hobby. There we go.
Hello, I'm Ray. I've been working here for around 7 years. I'm also a news reporter and a big fan of Crystal Palace in the English Premier League. Thank you.
はい、ありがとうございます。今日のテーマとなる記事なんですけれども、ピーターさんに選んでいただきました。どういうタイトルの記事でしょうか。
The headline is Japan petition urges Barbenheimer hashtag ban over A-bomb memes.
日本の若者たちが映画のバービーとオッペンハイマーというその2つの映画があるんですけども、そこの2つの映画を組み合わせてできたバーベンハイマーという言葉のそのハッシュタグの使い方について関与をしないように求めるという記事ですね。それでは朗読よろしくお願いします。
All right. Just to say, this article originally went out on August 3rd. Young activists in Japan have launched a petition urging the distributors of hit movies Barbie and Oppenheimer to disavow the Barbenheimer hashtag, referring to both films online amid controversy over memes involving atomic bomb images. The campaign has garnered more than 17,000 signatures since its launch on Tuesday, amid a backlash in Japan after a social media account of the Barbie movie from Warner Brothers Film Group engaged positively with fan posts, including images of Barbie with a mushroom cloud hairstyle. Audiences in the United States and elsewhere have flocked to see both Barbie, a satirical comedy, and Oppenheimer, a biographical film from Universal Pictures about physicist Robert Oppenheimer, who led the project to make atomic bombs, in an unlikely Barbenheimer double bill inspired by their simultaneous release on July 21st. But the petition says the movement around the hashtag is a clear indication that there is a widespread lack of awareness about the atrocities of atomic bombing, and that the social media activity completely disregards the suffering of atomic bomb victims and survivors. Among its other demands, the petition calls for Warner Brothers to issue an apology on social media for the online activity, and for both companies to take measures to prevent a recurrence. Controversy has erupted over the trend online in Japan, leading Warner Brothers Japan LLC to express regret on Monday over its US counterpart's social media response to the posts. Warner Brothers Group subsequently said in a statement to multiple media outlets that it regrets its recent insensitive social media engagement. The studio offers a sincere apology.
はい、どうもありがとうございます。この問題は結構日本と海外での意識の差を反映したというか、なかなかちょっと一筋縄には語りにくい問題だと思うんですけれども、この問題というのはどこがちょっと争点になっているんでしょうか、ピーターさん。
So the main issue is perceptions of the atomic bombing inside countries like the United States and in Japan, which is the only country to have suffered an atomic bombing in war. Barbie and Oppenheimer both released on the same day in the United States on July 21st, as it says in this article. And that led to the creation of the Barbenheimer meme, which is what we call a portmanteau, which is a fusing of two words. So Barbie, the Barbie is Barbie, Oppenheimer, Heimer, Barbenheimer. And by associating those two ideas together, it has created a sort of lighter sense of what Oppenheimer's work might mean, and has allowed fans to create content which plays on the idea of these two very contrasting images being together. And so they have made images like, as mentioned in the article, of Barbie's hair photoshopped into a mushroom cloud style image, which makes it look like a hairstyle, and also is referencing Oppenheimer's work creating the atomic bomb. But the problem is that for an American audience, while that is what it is the cloud created by the bomb. What it is from a Japanese perspective is it is the cloud created from the bomb that killed thousands of people, tens of thousands of people.
そうですよね。なんかそこの2つの映画が同じ日に公開されたということで、バーベンハイマーという、ハッシュタグが生まれたわけですけども、やっぱり原爆ってやっぱり日本で歴史を語る上でもなんかすごく重いものでありますし、多くの犠牲者が出た被害が出たものでもあるので、どうしても被爆した当事者のその国から見ると、なんかそういうようなお祭り騒ぎっていうんですかね、なんかそういうものがすごくどうしても軽く見られるというか、被爆者の方々とかそういった人たちに対してもなんか失礼なんじゃないかっていう、そういうような感じの感情が生まれるということなのかなと思いました。この辺にちょっと金子くんにちょっと聞いてみたいんですけれども、金子くん昨年原爆のテーマを担当されて、今年はピーターさんが担当されたんですけれども、なぜ原爆っていうところが日本で語る上でやっぱり特別な意味を持つんだというふうに思いますか？
Well, first thing is that nuclear weapons are considered as an ultimate weapon, which can kill thousands of people. And during that war, in the Second World War, the United States dropped bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki on August 6th and August 9th in 1945, respectively. And it caused around 210,000 deaths by the end of that year. So with this in mind, there are still... there's this word called hibakusha, where we can say A-bomb victims or survivors.
Yes, so depending on hibakusha, this story doesn't use that word. I know that a lot of people listening to this will be familiar with the word hibakusha, but when it comes to writing in English, we tend to use phrases like atomic bomb survivor, or in this article, it mentions that it completely disregards the suffering of atomic bomb victims and survivors. So what that means, rather than hibakusha, which can mean someone who is exposed to the bombing but still alive, but also somebody who was exposed to the bombing and has since died. The use of the word victim and survivor allows us to talk about both types of person. Even Kyodo News' own handbook, its style guide, advises us not to use the word hibakusha in the first reference, and by first reference I mean the first time someone introduces a topic in an article. And even if we are to use it a second time or later, a second reference or later, we're advised to avoid using the word alone. That doesn't mean that the word hibakusha isn't known in many parts of the world. I mean, it is. I know that Obama made specific reference to them, former President Obama made specific reference to hibakusha when he spoke in Hiroshima in 2016. And every year in his statements, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, he also mentions hibakusha by name. He calls them hibakusha. He doesn't use the word atomic bomb survivors. But there's no consensus on how to refer to this issue outside of Japan. So for the maximum ease of understanding, when we translate stories about hibakusha, or when I write my own stories about hibakusha, as much as possible, I try to avoid using that word.
And I also think that this issue has become even more difficult in recent years, especially after Russia invaded Ukraine February last year, where Putin had saber-rattled with nuclear bombs to use it in Ukraine, whereas people in Nagasaki, as Peter know, they say that they want Nagasaki to be the last place where the bomb was detonated.
Yeah.
But there was this momentum in 2021.
So January 2021 is when the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons went into force.
Although there was this momentum, Russian President Putin had done this, so it has become even more difficult issue in recent years, which I think we need to discuss more about what atrocities it had made to Japan and to spread the word.
そうですよね。ロシアのそのウクライナ侵攻で、その核の問題に、再び現実的な脅威として、注目が世界的に集まっているわけですけれども、やっぱりそういった問題に対して長崎広島で原爆の経験を持つ日本っていう日本での語り継がれているものその経験というところもやっぱり世界にシェアされるといいのかなというふうに、思いますね。ピーターさん、今年原爆を取材されましたけれども、実際に取材されてみていかがでしたか？
I think as a foreign person, and I'm from a country which, being from the UK, I'm from a country which helped develop the nuclear bomb with the United States. I think it's a very difficult thing to come to terms with. I think, and it's important, I think, for everyone. As a non-Japanese person, my understanding of what it meant to be affected by the bomb was not as deep as I would have liked it to be. But by meeting people who experienced it, or people who have given their lives to calling for peace, I feel immensely privileged to have met those people, and I think that it has changed the way I think about these issues. One of those people is in this article. There's a part I haven't read out, but Miho Tanaka, who is the 28-year-old activist who ran this campaign, she's originally from Fukuoka, but she now lives in Hiroshima and is one of the most vocal anti-nuclear campaigners around today. And a lot of her activism involves trying to get politicians to commit to the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons. And people like that, I find it inspiring that they're willing to raise their voice against states and raise their voice for an aim which I think is very difficult to achieve in the present situation. I think that's very admirable.
I think it's also because Japan is under US nuclear umbrella, where Japan depends on its nuclear deterrence to deter potential adversaries from them to use them. So I think it's very difficult how to interchange those activist thoughts with the people from the politician side to talk, discuss, and although Kishida admits that as an ultimate goal nuclear abolition is necessary, but in the meantime, with this international affairs going on, Japan is at this very unique position in the world, which other countries have not experienced. So I think there should be some specific role that Japan could do.
そうですよね。そこの状況として、日本がアメリカの核の傘というところに守られているところもあるんですけれども、すごい面白いなと思ったのが、お二人ともまた違う立場で原爆の問題を取材されて、違うバックグラウンドを持った中でまた違ったその感想とか感じることがあったんじゃないかなと思って、すごく素敵だなと思いました。はい、ありがとうございます。すいません、ところでそろそろ時間になってしまったんですけれども、海外部では、共同ニュースプラスというサイトで日本や世界で起きた出来事について英語のニュースを発信しています。今日ご紹介した記事も掲載されていると思いますので、ぜひチェックしてみてください。それでは皆さん See you next time!